Most financial advisors focus on chasing high returns, 8%, 10%, 12% averages. But after 30 years of research at Cargill, analyzing complex systems and finding hidden inefficiencies, I discovered something that will shock you. High returns don't even make the top 10 list of what actually destroys retirement wealth. Today, I'm going to show you the 10 ecological threats that systematically destroy retirement success, and more importantly, the engineered solution that neutralizes every single one of them. I'm Brent, and I spent my career as a researcher finding the hidden efficiency in any system. When traditional retirement planning failed me, I engineered something better. Something I call the architecture of freedom. Let me start with a story. My wife Wendy and I were planning our retirement in Florida. We had accumulated significant wealth through traditional methods, 401ks, mutual funds, real estate. But when I started modeling the actual threats to our financial future, I realized we were building our retirement on quicksand.
Brent came to me with spreadsheets, charts, and this look in his eyes that I recognized. It was the same look he had when he was solving complex problems at Cargill. He said our entire retirement strategy was mathematically flawed.
The first threat I discovered was avoiding large losses early. This is the #1 mathematical destroyer of retirement wealth. The first 5 years of retirement define the next 25. If you suffer significant losses in those early years, you mathematically cannot recover. Think of it like a football team getting blown out in the first quarter. If you're down by 40 points, it doesn't matter how good your offense is in the fourth quarter. The players get psychologically damaged. They can't recover. In retirement, early losses have the same devastating impact. This leads directly to threat number 2. Sequence risk of returns. Two people could both average 20% a year over 30 years, but one person could be broke after 5 years, while the other has doubled their money. How is this mathematically possible? Because you can't afford to have losses back to back to back while you're withdrawing money for living expenses. You want the positive returns up front. Positive, positive, positive. Then you can take a haircut, a negative year, and you're still way ahead. But most money managers can't control market timing. Threat number 3, taxation. The IRS is the biggest silent partner you never wanted. It's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Taxation is just another form of a large loss early on. Traditional retirement accounts force you to pay taxes at the worst possible time, when you need the money most. Threat 4. Surviving the healthcare cost explosion. Medical expenses are the #1 retirement budget destroyer. Look at what happens to most retirees. Care facilities drain everything they've saved in a matter of years because they have to liquidate assets to pay for healthcare. Threat 5. Avoiding outliving your money. Longevity risk. You have to plan for 30+ years of retirement, not just 20. People are living longer, but their portfolios aren't keeping up. Most retirement plans assume you'll die on schedule. What if you don't? Threat 6. Avoiding withdrawals at low balances. Never sell low to fund retirement spending. When the market tanks, traditional retirees still have to sell their stocks to buy groceries. They're locking in their losses permanently. This is mathematical suicide. Threat 7. Defending against inflation erosion. Purchasing power is the silent retirement killer. If your income stays flat, inflation cuts your lifestyle in half over 20 years. Most retirees watch their standard of living slowly deteriorate year after year. Threat 8. Avoiding emotional panic selling. Behavior destroys more wealth than bear markets. Dalbar studies show the average investor underperforms the market by 3 to 4% annually because they panic and sell at the bottom. Threat 9. Increasing flexibility and income durability. The plan that adapts wins the 30-year race. Life changes. Tax laws change. The market changes. If your money is locked up in rigid accounts, you can't pivot when circumstances demand it. And finally, threat 10. Addressing and avoiding volatility. Smooth returns beat high returns every time in retirement. Volatility drag is a mathematical certainty. If a portfolio alternates between up 20% and down 15%, the actual geometric return is tiny. After identifying these 10 threats, I realized that traditional retirement planning doesn't address any of them. In fact, it makes most of them worse. So I engineered a solution. I call it the cash loaning machine. The solution is an indexed universal life policy, specifically the Nationwide Accumulator 3, but not the way most people use it. I engineered a system that neutralizes all 10 threats simultaneously. Let me show you how it works. First, the 0% floor eliminates threats 1 and 2 completely. Large losses early and sequence risk simply cannot happen. The worst you can do in a market crash is earn 0%. No negative years means no sequence risk. Second, the tax-free loan structure eliminates threat 3. You never pay taxes on your retirement income because you're not withdrawing money. You're borrowing against your cash value. The loans are tax-free and never have to be repaid in your lifetime. Third, the accelerated death benefit rider eliminates threat 4. If you face a chronic or terminal illness, you can access the death benefit while you're still alive. It's a built-in shield against healthcare cost explosions. Fourth, the increasing income stream eliminates threat 5. The interest credits land on what I call the all-time account value, the cumulative total of all premiums paid plus all interest credits ever earned. This number only goes up, never down. Here's the beautiful part. Even if you've borrowed every dollar of cash value, the interest credits continue to compound on that all-time account value. So your income increases every single year. You literally cannot outlive this money because it grows faster than you can spend it. Fifth, the loan structure eliminates threat 6. You never sell anything at a loss. Your money stays invested, capturing market upside when it recovers. No forced liquidation, no locking in losses. The policy loans give you liquidity without disrupting your investment growth. Sixth, the compounding income stream eliminates threat 7. Because your income increases by 5% compounding annually, you're not just keeping up with inflation, you're leaving it in the dust. Your purchasing power actually increases over time. Seventh, the 0% floor eliminates threat 8. There's no reason to panic sell because there's nothing to panic about. The worst case scenario is earning 0%. This removes the emotional component that destroys so much wealth. Eighth, the loan flexibility eliminates threat 9. You can access your money anytime for any reason without penalties or restrictions. Need to buy real estate? Take a loan. Market opportunity? Take a loan. Emergency? Take a loan. Total flexibility. And finally, the capped upside structure eliminates threat 10. The policy typically caps returns at 7 to 8%, which creates incredibly smooth, predictable growth. This mathematical smoothing can produce 20 to 40% more terminal wealth than a volatile portfolio with the same average return.
When Brent first came to me with this concept, I thought he was crazy. He was asking me to model things that the industry software couldn't handle. Cost segregation depreciation, solar tax credits, IUL cash flow projections, all integrated into one system. But Brent pushed me. He gave me homework assignments that forced me to think beyond the standard industry models. He made me realize that our tools were archaic, inadequate for solving modern financial problems. So I built something new, created Russell Capital Systems, a platform that models the impossible. It shows clients exactly how to engineer their financial future using the principles Brent discovered. The platform models what I call the mortgage killer strategy. You fund the IUL with significant premiums, then use policy loans to make principal-only payments on your mortgage. The property goes debt-free rapidly, freeing up cash flow to fund even more policies. But we didn't stop there. we modeled generational wealth transfer. The system shows how the policy pays off your mortgage, then your children's mortgages, then your grandchildren's mortgages, all while the money rebalances at the end, tax-free. We even modeled what happens with massive real estate portfolios. If someone has 150 rental properties, we can show them how to cash flow all the rental income through IUL policies, and use policy loans to eliminate the debt on every property. It becomes a perpetual wealth generation engine. Properties go debt-free, freeing up capital to acquire more properties, which generate more cash flow, which funds more policies. It's mathematical compounding at its finest. The tax optimization component is crucial. We use solar tax credits under Section 48 of the Internal Revenue Code to offset large Roth conversions. A client with a $5 million conversion can purchase $2 million in solar credits and get refunded. Combined with cost segregation depreciation on short-term rental properties, we can drive the effective tax rate to zero. This allows massive wealth transfers into tax-free accounts while maintaining current liquidity needs.
The key insight is that this isn't just about life insurance. It's about engineering a complete financial ecosystem that eliminates mathematical threats while maximizing tax efficiency and liquidity. Most people think of life insurance as a death benefit, but when properly engineered, it becomes a cash printing machine that provides increasing, tax-free income for life while protecting your family's legacy.
When Brent first explained this to me, I was skeptical. $250,000 a year in premiums seemed like a lot of money to tie up. But then I understood, it's not tied up. It's working harder than any other investment we've ever made. We're now living in Florida, completely debt-free. Our children's mortgages are paid off. Our grandchildren's futures are secure, and our income increases every year. We literally have to adjust our spending upward just to keep up with the cash the system generates.
The mathematics are irrefutable. When you eliminate the 10 threats that destroy retirement wealth, when you engineer tax-free, increasing income streams, when you provide total liquidity and flexibility, you create true financial freedom. This isn't theory. This isn't speculation. This is engineering. We've taken the guesswork out of retirement planning and replaced it with mathematical certainty.
The Russell Capital Systems platform now serves thousands of clients worldwide. And we've proven that when you give people the right tools and the right education, they can engineer their own financial freedom. But it all started with one researcher who refused to accept the standard answer. Brent forced me to build something better, and that homework assignment became an empire.
If you're serious about engineering your financial future, if you want to eliminate the threats that destroy retirement wealth, if you want to create true generational wealth, the tools exist, the mathematics work. The only question is, are you ready to think differently? Visit RussellCapitalSystems.com. Model your own architecture of freedom, because defense doesn't just win championships in sports, it wins the game of money.